average says that 3 to 4% conversion is what SaaS industry is all about. But believe it or not, the last month the conversion went up to 35%.
Get ready for a dose of internet marketing strategy and tactics from the makers of the best digital marketing toolset, Mondovo.com. Mondovo.com. Here, we tell you how to uncomplicate your marketing endeavors and find success online. Let's get digital marketing simplified.
Hello everybody, thank you very much for joining another great episode of Mondovo podcast. Today we have Sameer Panjwani, the CEO and founder of Mondovo, Giri, the customer success guy, and Bala, me here, the host of this show, talking to you about another important topic, conversions. Everyone needs that and everyone wants to know more of it. So, Sameer, let's talk conversion. So what's happening with Mondovo's conversion? Where are we and where are we heading now?
It's interesting you asked that because I think we'd all agree that when we started out a couple of years back, our conversions were horrible. Horrible is in fact a very kind way to put it. But we have dramatically improved our conversions on our site. Yeah. But I would say not so. I mean, I would attribute it to, of course, a change in design, a change in UI. But I think for us, conversions have improved because of a change in business model as well. However, I'm not sure if that applies to every business listening out there. We can talk about how the business model change improved our conversions, but I think what we should talk about is how people in general, what are the things that they can keep in mind to improve their conversions, and what are some learnings that we have had. So like Giri, you have been in charge of UI for the last year or so, and you've really helped improve and dramatically change the way the site looks and feels. And I think that's helped a long way. So what impact do you say UI plays, and what impact does language play in improving conversion, at least from what you've seen?
It plays a huge amount, because if the user is able to perceive the product as being easy to use, meets his requirements easily, and the language is not complicated or filled with jargon, then he is more open to taking a decision to possibly use your service. So that's what we've been trying to do for the past few months or so. Basically revamp the design, make it simpler, make it more friendly, make the language easier to understand, and so far we've been okay with it, I guess.
Fantastic. It's pretty interesting when you guys say what is that you have done. I just kind of quote little numbers behind this particular story, because I know somewhere in August we were in that 30-day trial period, and we were kind of giving out some credits, and we were asking people to try something, but the conversions were really poor. Like we were at 4%, in fact 0% in the paid customer side of it. But then we kind of changed a lot of stuff. Of course, UI played a huge thing, and we changed the business model, and then we started seeing a huge difference. Huge in the sense huge. Yeah. Average says that 3 to 4%, right? 3 to 4% conversion is what SaaS industry is all about. But believe it or not, the last month the conversion went up to 35%.
Which is really good.
That 35% is like a big, awesome number. Yeah. And there's a lot of hard work, because we learned so many things in each and every stage.
And failed so many times.
Absolutely. We tried giving 30 days trial, it didn't work at all. Then we gave no trial, it worked tremendously well, and we did a different way. And then we gave 7 days trial, again it's working in a different way.
True.
So there is phases, like when you change your model, and when you change the pricing also, I think conversion hits majorly, and there's something to do with the UI and also the business model. There's a lot of correlation, I think.
The one thing I'd like to add is that we were constantly nimble, as in when we realized something was not working, we changed it within a week. So I think if you are planning to change your UI, you should keep in mind that you should work as fast as you can.
So, and to give context to the listeners out there, let's I'll just tell you a little bit about what our prior business model was and what it is currently. So it gives you some context of what we're talking about out here. So when we launched a couple of years back, we were a traditional subscription model where we offered you plans for $49 a month, $99 a month, and you would get something called credits, which in hindsight is a screwed up concept which never worked well for us.
No one understood it.
No one understood at all. We were trying to be too smart, and unfortunately it turned out to backfire on us. But yeah, traditional model, subscription based, you subscribe, pay a tool, pay for access, and you get access to all the tools limited by the amount of credits that you had in your account. So for 2 years we tried it, it didn't quite work so well, and then we
were hired.
And
we changed.
And then yes, so over the last year or so we've been debating various business models, and that's where we decided to go the pay-as-you-go route. So right now in Mondovo, the business model that we changed 4 months back is where you pay per report. So there's no minimum subscription fee, there's no monthly subscriptions, you have to just pay per report. Each report costs a few cents. And of course, by virtue of the business model being as frictionless as possible, because there is no monthly subscription involved, by virtue of just having that model itself, it's been easy to convert users. We've not had to work as hard as we had to in the past. So I would say yes. So sometimes if you have a business model that's not quite working, explore your options. We explored the many options that we had, and we tried various things that we'll not delve into in this episode. Way too many things. But yeah, business model is one aspect. But what about, let's delve into a little more. What are the, so when we talk about conversion, we've always tried to understand our users, the problems that they have, or how are we trying to solve their problems. Every tool, every business out there is trying to solve a problem.
See, the biggest issue that we face is that after a user signs up, he needs to see value as fast as he can. Now, in our case, we're hoping that he sees value within 7 days. But the fundamental question is, what is value to him? Because since every user will have a different objective, we somehow have to make the UI intuitive enough, but at the same time easy enough that he can achieve what he needs to as fast as he can. So we've not perfected the art of doing that, but there are ways and tips that you can do. So things like in surveys, asking them what are they looking at doing, making the options easy to find, having a really strong onboarding system. So all those are still things that we're working on.
But it's pretty interesting when you actually say it. Like, so obviously you use tools to kind of find all this particular thing behind it. If I have to understand, and how much these tools really help you, what would you say?
That's an interesting thing, because we subscribe to a few SaaS tools of our own to basically understand our audience. But I feel at some level the information is a bit of an overload. How do you view everything, analyze everything, watch everything? It's a bit much to actually do and do the rest of your work also. So that's where something I'm not really clear
So
on.
just to give context again, the tools that we use to understand the users are Hotjar, Intercom, and then we use our own Mondovo Analytics, and then Google Analytics. So the tradition, I think everyone uses Google Analytics to understand that.
Our favorite Slack.
Yeah.
Slack.
So, but yeah, let's talk a little bit more about, say, Hotjar. Now, Hotjar we use to record our users. Giri, you've run quite a few polls, surveys. Bala,
do
you also
surveys,
initiated
polls,
a few polls.
feedback, funnels. Now there is data from each of these elements. There's heat maps you can see every day. There's survey results you can see every day. There's recordings you can view every day. How do you use all of that? There's no way to summarize all that data, and when you have nearly 60 people signing up every day, you barely manage to close yesterday's chapter, and again it's begun again. So how do you do this effectively?
So I'll agree. Sorry to interrupt, but I think that information overload is a problem. And now, unfortunately, I haven't watched a lot of our own users' videos that are recorded on Hotjar, but I know you guys have.
Yeah.
So if you had to pick an insight or learning that you have seen from those videos, would there be anything in particular? Was it useful? Bala, was there anything in particular?
It's kind of pretty interesting. Like you see, every user, he uses the system in his own way, the way he kind of understands and does it. Now, one major, one example I want to quote here was we designed Mondovo basically on the SEO side of it. We gave amazing features like rank tracker, this and that. And when we actually went to the market, and we found some of the features which we never thought would be great at all. Like for example, the Facebook analytics, Facebook competition analytics. We didn't do much there. It was kind of giving the basic, the UI was kind of okay, but it's giving the data. We didn't do much there because we thought SEO is the part, and we kind of did so much. But we kind of found that so many people doing the Facebook competition, Twitter competition, or those particular analytics, which we never thought or we kind of decided at all. So that kind of gives a perspective. Okay, you think that our tool has been, this is how our customers would use it, but when you actually go back to the data and see it, but people or the customers kind of use it in a different way in which that kind of supports them. So that's a kind of learning for us to understand. Okay, what is the next thing to?
So like it was not our intention for them. For we always thought our intention would be these tools would work better, but unintentionally
the other tools kind
work
of
better. Yeah, that was an interesting observation. But I'm not sure if Hotjar helped us arrive at that.
No, Hotjar was a kind of Hotjar kind of did not tell us in that particular way, but.
Yes.
We were kind of seeing, okay, people go there, we know it, like you could predict, okay, now they'll go to the next one is over there, and they kind of do it.
Correct.
So, I didn't get much from the Hotjar per se, but yeah, through Intercom and Mondovo Analytics kind of found that. But everyone has it. But Hotjar is something, Giri, you use a lot.
See, from Hotjar, I've got two things that I learned, and I was actually hoping for someone to make a solution for that. Like for Hotjar recordings, if there was a way that I can tag certain actions that users are taking through their recordings, and if I see if Hotjar can then keep a note of that action and remind me how many of these users that we've recorded have taken the same action, then at least I can summarize all these videos. We record nearly 2,000 videos every month. There's no physical way I can watch all of them, but if Hotjar can summarize those videos on the basis of actions that were taken, that would really help me then tweak the UI.
It's interesting, yeah. So for me personally, Hotjar is helping identifying bugs that we have seen our users face. So whenever a user complains, if we could find the video associated with that user, it's helped us debug those solutions. It was interesting to see that approach. And I think it helped us majorly when I used to watch videos a long time back was our onboarding process.
Yeah, that didn't work.
That our onboarding process previously was not very good. We kind of knew it, but it was confirmed by the helplessness shown by the users showcased on our Hotjar videos. So I think to a certain extent, the videos helped us just confirm our intuitiveness that told us that okay, our onboarding process sucks and we need to really improve that. So I think sometimes videos can maybe confirm a hypothesis that you have about your users, and then when you watch it, it will either confirm or not confirm. Like you were saying, sometimes you were surprised by the uptake in the social modules. So that was a surprise, pleasant surprise, of course. But yeah.
But in the recording, definitely, that's exactly doesn't correlates there. But many things kind of goes like summary is something basically I've been not seeing so much of videos like so much of videos. Okay, should I be kind of concentrating that or I have my daily task and which one to do it? But summaries kind of makes more sense because at one shot I can say that wow, so many people have come from homepage to so and so page. Here is a stats over here. Yeah. All those particular stats, we cannot get that particular point. Okay, fine. And it kind of goes much more detailed when you want to kind of go see one particular single user.
Then bashed Hotjar enough. We can move on to the next.
No, wait. When you're there in Hotjar, tell about the heat maps that you can look at.
I didn't want to, but then something that I was curious about in terms of UI, if you look at heat maps, it shows you that most people don't actually read anything beyond the first fold. So then why is page depth an issue? Like, why should I make a home page with 5 or 6 folds if no one's going to read it? I've always wondered, you look at a heat map, it's always bright red right on top and blue as you go down. Why should I waste time even making those folds then if you're not going to invest the time to read it? I myself will not read second, third, fourth fold, so why should I make a website that has it? I've always wondered. Just for SEO?
Good point actually, but but the heat map actually helped me out in finding one thing. Remember in the pricing page, some of the FAQs, we had a good type of heat maps in those FAQs, which so people are kind of more interested in.
And those FAQs were at the bottom of the page.
Exactly, absolutely at the bottom of the page.
So I think there are pros and cons. Heat maps can maybe spot those golden hot regions.
Exactly.
So the hot regions which unintentional. The FAQ particular questions were like indicative of the user's problems that he had. So maybe
that's a good idea.
So in certain ways I guess they can help. But most traditional heat maps I guess you would see the red, blue, yellow, and then you will.
I think that's like everywhere, that's the same story. But
where if you find an anti-pattern, I think that's where the insight comes.
Use your intuition. Find a pattern.
That also helps us in finding out like the number of people coming at the bottom of the page. You have all features there.
Yes.
And people are clicking on that all features. And we thought, does anyone go there? Like we found that lots of people actually going in.
So those are like anti-patterns which stuck out, and I think those. Even though we've not really figured out how to use that data, FAQ we could, but like figuring out that scrolling tab, not so much.
Okay.
Like it all works in
Now comes
progress.
to the third topic, which is like, fine, now we found something, right? Now you kind of found that, hey, this is working, this is not working. But coming back to conversions,
Yes.
okay, which is the thing over here. How is these helping us to do the conversion? Do you think that, using the heat maps or through the recording is like, we know that everyone is going there. Maybe we can keep a CTA button in some places. Would that kind of help us, or should we kind of focus on that particular area?
I don't know, Giri, you want to take this?
See, the thing is, if you read up online, everyone says, even the SaaS consultants like Lincoln Murphy and stuff, they recommend that no matter what you do on the site, the user will not convert until he sees value. And your job is to make sure that the time of him signing up and seeing value is as short as you can. So even if and we personally own sites where the UI is horrible, we will not
Yes.
mention that site here, but we do own them, but they work fantastically well because the user knows the value outcome instantly. There is no if and buts about it. In our case, and I think that's the case with most SaaS tools, trying to convince him of value and showing him that is where it's crucial. So whatever data you get from whatever source, heat maps, recordings, whatever, should basically show the value in the end of it, and that's basically helping him meet his objective. So that's what I think we should do.
So I totally agree. I think all conversions based on value offerings. If we offer something of value, we're going to get something in return.
So just to answer your question, if through a heat map or a recording you want to move a CTA here or there, I don't think that will be the end of your problem, because if the user is still not seeing value, you can move it wherever you want. It's not going to solve the issue.
Okay, that the question comes is like, using these tools, like let's say intercom or anything else. Can we actually say that there is a way to find value? Are they really finding the value that they are looking for?
See, having been abused already thrice in our system, I can tell you that people are tremendously vocal when they're not happy. But when they are happy, they're very quiet about it. Unfortunately, they don't like to share their happiness with us. So even if you are showing them value, chances are it's very hard for you to even know that you're doing something right. So we've tried surveys, we've tried polls, but the response has been lukewarm at best. So the only hope you can do is those users who do end up writing back to you, you use them as examples. Hopefully there are other people like them. Use them as examples. Find out what worked, what did they do, where did they go, what did they see, and then use that as an example to improve the UI.
I think everything comes down to, I think if you break down, like every user that we're targeting has a big problem, and then we have to break down how we can offer those values in mini value offerings so that we can lead him up to the final goal, which is him using our tool regularly. So I'm guessing like, okay, the value offering that we are offering on our homepage is, okay, we're offering a free trial, which you can explore the tool. So by which we capture your email and you're getting a free trial in return. Now, after you use certain tools on our platform, we're hoping that you'll see value from the data that you obtain. Now, what we're not doing and where we could do better, I think, is like using maybe tools like Intercom or maybe Mondovo that we have, is for each user, we personalize the communications to each user based on the tools he used and shared educational know-how material or resources on how he could effectively use that data in his day-to-day life. I think that would show value, but that's hard to do. It's hard to scale, because personalization on a scalable level
It's very tough.
is tough, no matter which tool you use, because there are too many rules, especially in a complicated tool like ours where we have dozens of possibilities and dozens of permutations and combinations. It's hard. So that's where conversions is where something I think we're still losing out on, because we're not able to show value to the right person, the right value to the right person at the right time.
I would also hope if Intercom was easier to use from my own perspective. Like if I have to make a change on Intercom's reporting, I have to talk to Sameer, he has to do some code changes, that will take a week, and then blah blah blah. I would love it if Intercom was easy enough to use, like MailChimp. I can just make a change on the fly and then I can try.
But do you guys kind of understand this now? Yes, we're trying to talk about conversions, okay? Now the tools, whatever we've been doing, like say Hotjar, Intercom, even for say Slack for the matter, it's all where we kind of understand customer acquisition, behavior, and we get that data pretty much clear there. But using that data to conversion, so what is, I don't think so that's the tool's job.
No,
I think the tool has done that particular job of, giving us the way for what is that, how the acquisition happened, how the behavior did happen.
Yes.
Now, I think the conversion is always in our hand. It's not in the tool's hand. It's something like, we cannot rely on them or we cannot blame them for conversion.
No, I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying that they are giving us so much data, but it's not helping me arrive at a conclusion. And we have the same problem with our own tools. For example, if you look at our rank tracker reports, they're huge. If you don't understand what to look for, you'll get lost. I feel the same way when I look at Hotjar, for example. There's so much information. I need help summarizing all that into an actionable input. And that is a value that we ourselves are trying to do for our own users by giving them workflows and end output to help them take an action. Basically, that's the whole point of it.
Interesting. Now, considering in the same stages, where would Mondovo fit for our customers? Would that be for an acquisition behavior? I mean, of course not, but for the conversion. Where Mondovo would actually fit for our customers?
I didn't quite understand.
So this what he's asking is the same way that we use Hotjar and Intercom to gather intelligence for our users.
Yes.
Is it be to gather intelligence on their own rankings or their own users, or is it to basically find out where they're going wrong, or is it to find out just what they're doing right? Or
I know at least one particular tool which you can use within Mondovo is a Mondovo Analytics platform, which is real-time visitor tracking, which I keep, and I know Bala, you also, we keep monitoring, we keep spying on our own users because we can track visits by email address, and then we see each page they visited, how much time they spent on a page, what they clicked on each page. So that is quite useful. Of course, it's hard because it's not scalable again. Scale always comes down to scale and using the data to personalize communication. But I would say the other tools in Mondovo, I think, meet other goals. It's not conversion related. It's SEO related, social media related, to help you improve your rankings, help you improve your social media presence, to simplify your reporting. So I'm not sure we're in that space. We're not in improving conversion space, but I think it's a problem every business out there faces, including us, is how do you improve conversions. So I wish if there was a more structured approach or structured checklist based approach, which we could say, okay, if you do this A, B, C, D, your conversions will dramatically improve.
Seriously, I mean, I think if someone one of the two does that, I would be happy to do and follow that particular process, because at the end of the day, for any of the business, like for me or for anybody else, it's the conversion, what's actually happening, what's the money which is kind of coming.
And I think one thing we are not doing, which we should be doing, and I think some people do, is a lot of either A/B or multivariate testing. So either if it's your website copy or your landing pages or even your onboarding flow, if there's ever the best way to test, I think, is to always see variations. So serve 50% of your audience this, serve 50% of your audience this,
and see the response.
and then see the response. Of course, it's hard to do, and that's why not many people do it, including us. We can test website copy in the front end and see the impact on trial rate sign-ups. But I think for us that is a small conversion point. The big conversion is how many users inside
ending up,
and then to do A/B inside is very hard.
It's important to check or put a watch on the metric that what we want to kind of follow behind.
So I think conversion, I mean, A/B testing is it's lovely to just say, but little tough to execute because you need a lot of data points, you need a lot of visitors, so it's sometimes impractical, although people suggest you should do it. But I don't think if you're small, if you don't have more than a couple of thousand, I think sometimes you'll not get realistic enough data points.
True.
Okay, so what can we summarize for our users now? So our listeners out there, so if we had to summarize, what's worked for us in terms of improving conversions, what's not worked for us? Bala, any learnings, any insights that you have? Well,
I'll say so many things did not work for us. That's something what we know, but the thing is, like, constantly we kind of experimented. Like, we did not leave it. Like when we knew something is not working and we were tracking the right matrices, we went back and did another test.
Yes.
And we hit the 35% mark. That's because we went and did a lot of testing. And I wouldn't say like the model what we have or the page what we have is the best. I think we can still improvise it. But it's important to kind of always keep a track on what's actually happening. One particular metric, keep always have a look into it. Every time you focus and you change anything, you see an improvement, it's good. You see it's not working, maybe get back to the old one and then try improving.
So benchmark and monitor your progress for every change that you make. That's what you're saying. So I think that's perfectly. It must do. I think that's a must do. Giri, any other insights?
If I had to smash it down into 3 words, it is simplify your UI, make it easier to understand, identify the value that you would like to show the user and show that as fast as you can, personalize the experience for every user. They should feel like the toolset is built just for them.
Bang on. I think you both have covered most of the points that I would have anyway said. So yeah, I stole my thunder out there. But yeah, so then Bala, if you can give a conclusion and we can close things.
I'd just like to add a caveat though. It is very easy to say all this in theory, but tremendously hard to do. But I would come back to what Bala was saying was experiment, keep trying, don't lose hope. Things will look horrible at some point, but keep at it basically.
Yeah, persistence is key. We've stuck at it for a long time, and it's only now that we're seeing some kind of
life.
Yes, life. So it's never give up. Is that
the number of experiment that's actually happening right now? It's kind of a little bit kind of crazy right now in office, but it's kind of fun, you know. And true, it's like when you do a lot of experiments, it's kind of really funny. You're going to have amazing day every day. So that's kind of true. To summarize, this is what it is like. Of course, you have various tools to do whatever you want, and in your business, of course, every tool utilized to the max. So take some time, understand what is the data you're getting it, and of course, you know, try utilizing that data back into your business where you can actually utilize it. Then go back, keep experimenting, and I'm sure you're going to see some results over there. Conversion is what everyone is looking for, and I'm sure you would be reaching out there the more and more you keep experimenting on it. Right, so thank you very much, folks. Thank you, Samir. Thank you, Giri, for this wonderful session. Let's kind of come back again the next week with even more.
And do subscribe to us.
Absolutely.
This session of the Digital Marketing Simplified Show has come to a close. For more information on show notes and transcriptions of this episode, visit us at Mondovo.com. If you found this episode worth your time, please do spread the word. Tweet it. Email it. And share it with your network. Do keep checking back for more new episodes. Till next time.